So there is a possibility that we have a big problem in here. Possibility, probability, I don't know yet. We're about to find out. Now what we might end up doing is taking some frames that I just removed and replacing any that look bad in here if there is a problem with small hive beetles. And that's the beauty of having more than one hive. When you've only got one hive, you've got no other hives to share resources, and that includes drawn foundation. So if I have to put some additional drawn foundation to replace anything that potentially is damaged by small hive beetles, then I have 2 boxes full of it. Look at the bees in there though. There is a ton of bees in here. I'm seeing a lot of beetles too. I just killed 4 on the lid. Like last week, 2 weeks ago I should say, I did an inspection and there were 30 plus beetles that I killed. But now looking in here, we've got a ton of bees in the top, and that's all from brood that was, pretty sure there was a lot of brood getting ready to hatch out. And now they've been treated with Formic Pro. Look at oh my goodness. There was beetles under there like you wouldn't believe. There was probably about 6 beetles under this Formic Pro pad. And that's what they do, they put them in jail, the bees put them in jail. But then I go ahead and release them. Now there's some stuck on these Swiffer pads too. Quite a few on the Swiffer pad right here. I don't know if I should knock these down to 1 box so that they've got no space for the bees. So I'm going to remove this Swiffer pad too. Look at the beetles on this Swiffer pad as well. So it's done its job. So it's a good job that I put the Swiffer pads in. Now let's compare that to watch out girls, because I want to, you got to crush the beetles. If they're under there, they're just going to scatter the minute you take this up. This is just from 2 weeks ago. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 beetles in that trap. Plus there was a few underneath as well. Now we're going to do the same with this one. Oh. Oh, come on, girls. The bees are all under it. Okay, let's just. One, two, three, four, five, six beetles in this trap as well. So they've done their job by removing or killing a bunch of the beetles. So between the beetle blasters and the Swiffer pads, we killed quite a few beetles. There's a glob of propolis here too, which I wonder, is that a beetle trap? It could have beetles in it. because they make little prisons for the beetles. So my guess is that that's what that was, a propolis trap for the beetles. Now what we got to do, smoke them down a bit. Smoke the bees down and have a look and see if they've made a mess of this or not. With any luck, I don't know. I just don't know. Now, queen could be anywhere because there's no queen excluder. We got honey and nectar. Honey and nectar. I don't see a single beetle. Now last week they were on the outside frames, but there were no traps of any sort in it. So I'm also looking down as I go into the next frame to see what I see. I see a lot of bees. Quite a lot of bees. Don't see any beetles. I don't see any maggots. Things are looking good so far. Honey. These girls, there's one beetle there. Let's kill that. Killed one beetle. They got a pretty good population in here, so they've been taking care of these beetles from by the looks of it. This is a box that I made myself. If you watch the previous video on this hive, beetlemania, you'll see that I had trouble taking some of these frames out. That's a beautiful frame of honey and nectar. Heavy. Heavy there too. No beetles. There's pollen. There's one little maggot there, little pesky thing. Let me get that. There's a couple. Hang on. So they like the pollen, and that's where you're going to find them. So this frame may actually get frozen and returned to them. I only saw a couple, but they could be burrowing underneath. It's hard to tell. Where there's two, there's usually more. So that frame, taking that frame out. Get a little bit of smoke going. A little bit of brood in here. Open larvae and brood. Still, my main focus here is looking for those maggots from the beetles. So far, just the one frame had a few. I'm looking, giving it a real good look over, because the maggots will also travel frame to frame. Now I could reduce these down to one box. There's an awful lot of bees here. A lot of bees. Pollen, honey, nectar, honey. Lots of bees, lots and lots of bees. I think these girls may have got them under control. I think these girls are going to be alright. There is an absolute ton of bees in here. I think if I remove that frame and just give them a frame of comb, they're not going to miss out on too much. I don't see any other issues yet. There's honey here. It's a thin frame of honey. You like my new gloves? Brand new gloves. They're already covered in propolis. Yeah, I need some smoke again. Smoke those girls down. Where's my J-hook when I need it, eh? There's a lot of open comb here. Oh, there's brood. I see a lot of brood in here. Open larvae. Oh yeah, ton of brood in here as well. That's all open larvae in those cells. Let's get them back in there. These girls are going to be fine. Honey and open cells. Whole bunch of beetles on this frame. Well, you don't need those. Holy moly. You won't believe the beetles on this frame. Look at them. Look at them all. Okay, so those two frames have been removed. One that had nectar on, I will process and freeze. And I'm going to replace those frames with frames that have some drawn comb. Still quite a few beetles. Wow. Still a problem for these girls, but we'll do the best we can to help them out with more Swiffer pads today. Nice frame of honey. I think I'm going to knock them down to one box. I think that's what I need to do. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. Not knowing where the queen is, I'm not going to just blow them off. They're going to be mad. Yeah, sure. They need the brood. I got brood here for you girls. Shoot. This is not fun. That's part of the problem that we now have. Okay, so there's a frame with nothing. A nice frame of brood can take that place. That's really got nothing on it. Okay, so we're knocking them down to one box. They're going to be a very, very full box. They're a little annoyed right now. That's okay. Bring the brood that I want to put in there. This frame's got nothing on it, so frame of brood there, a frame with some honey stores there, and oh boy. That's a lot of bees. I'm going to try and get this top cover back on, but I've got to get some bees out of the way. Okay. These girls will settle down in a little while. Just checking the box to make sure the queen's not on the side of the box. Here we go.